What's up, y'all? Welcome to Wine and Dine Wednesday. Wine and Dine Wednesday. We're a little bit early today, but I have a few events going on, so I just wanted to log on, give people time to come into the room. Sorry I wasn't live last week. Life happens, real things go on. I wasn't able to come on, and I'm inconsistent with, I said I was gonna make a post and I didn't. Welcome to Wine and Dine Wednesday, my one follower. You should register for my live Zoom, for my private Zoom. We are definitely active in the Zoom room. I'm waiting for a few more people to come in there. But welcome to Wine and Dine Wednesday. Like I said, I'm sorry about last week. Life happened, so I wasn't able to come on. But I'm here today to say we talking mindset. I'm gonna give people till 7 o'clock to jump on. So just vibe with me. YouTube, excuse Gracie's Corner in the background. Give them their props, their shout outs, their credits, however that works. I got a baby and he need to be entertained, so we entertaining him for right now. Other than that, I'm giving people a few minutes to get in the room. Few minutes to get in the room. I don't know if you guys had the link to join the live Zoom. The link is on my Facebook page, my Instagram page is a link tree. Join the private Zoom. But until we get the Zoom popping, we're going to be live. I actually have a guest on my Zoom today too, so I'm hoping you guys jump in on the Zoom. Look at my baby because he's about to have a heart attack. I'm still working out the technicalities of things. I'm new to this. I'm not a tech person, but I make it work. 222 blessings. I don't know who believes in religion or who don't. I definitely live strong on faith, and God is definitely moving in my life. So that's one thing I'm going to say, proud and happy. You definitely need God when you're in transition from bad situation to new situation. You need God when you going through different things. That's your guidance. That's who you seek. Not no friends, not no family. Seek the Lord. That is the only person that's going to get you through and out. I'm kind of cheating today, so I'm on 2 different meetings. I'm growing myself, applying myself. I'm in 3 different meetings, really, because I'm in my Zoom too. And we active. I guess everybody who signed up is not showing up today, but it's okay. I show up for me. That's all that matters. You show up for you. That's what we're trying to teach. That's what we're trying to gain and grow. Oh, man. I'm all the way out of sync. I can't even join my meeting right now, y'all. Khalid, I need you to turn that down, please. While we waiting, we're going to play some Naystar. Here we go. I always get in my own bag. I know I got to start with myself. Self-love, self-support. I'm showing up for me. I really have a meeting right now, and I wanted to be in my meeting, but I couldn't not show up for y'all. Like, this is something I want to do consistently every Wednesday. I'm here for y'all. Any questions, concerns, is really hard when you independent, when you single and you a mother. Even as a father, I don't know who's watching live, but for my ladies, I already know it's definitely hard when you gotta juggle multiple things. Hold on, I gotta get my baby too because he is acting up. Come on, Sadie. gonna give you some attention because we know you here with us today. Take your time doing whatever you're doing. Chime in whenever you can. Y'all say good day, Zane. You're fine. Take your time. I'm still getting myself set up, as you can see, but you know it's live. We live. We live for the people. I'm not even gonna stay live for too long. If I don't get no people to chime in, you know, interact with me. I ain't gonna stress it because guess what? We'll be back next week. I definitely got some people who booked me for next week. I got some people. Make sure that you got some clarity today. Kind of cheating, y'all. Y'all get to hear some things y'all don't deserve. Gotta put my earpiece on that phone. But about to switch phones here. I mean, you see, you say hi to the people. Say we talking mindset because you gotta have a good mind to get by in life. You gotta have a clear mind. You gotta know where you going, what you want, how you feel, how to deal with those feelings. It's definitely not easy, y'all. Especially when you got a little baby. A little baby don't give you no break, no chance. And you still got to be strength. You still got to be sane. You still got to keep going. I had a quote for y'all, matter of fact. I don't know if I could share it on my screen, but I came across something this week and it kind of emphasized my topic a little bit on what we're going to be talking about today. Can you hear my other screen, Kelly? Can you hear my other phone? I can't even hear you. No, you're kind of far. Say that again. No, I can't really hear you. You wanna hello? I think it was me. There we go. Okay. I hear you now, girl. We live. We here. This video is crazy. So this is Wines on Wednesday. I had my wine and everything. I was ready. I was prepared for today. You know, people always sign up and then don't show up, but it's okay. So we not even whining. We focus. We grinding. That's what the mindset is right now. I'm on grind mode. I'm walking away from everything negative. I'm walking away from nothing that pours into me. Absolutely. Hey, baby. Say hey, baby. You want him, girl? Come get him. Look, I think you got a little baby over there. He need a friend. I stay with baby people, even though I have 2 kids. I stay with baby people. Do you hear me? I don't need no more, girl. This one gave me a run for my money, and I'm good. I got 2 as well. 2 boys. I'm a boy mom. Yes, me too. Okay, see, well, welcome. Look, you're going to have to chime in as often as you could. Hopefully, next week people actually show up. But, I understand life happens because it's me sometimes. Regardless of who's on here, we can still show up and give value regardless. Mm-hmm. And we can always go back and watch your replay, so we can always still add value to people out. Yes, I don't know if y'all can hear her on my private Zoom call, but we adding value. And yeah, so that brought me to my topic is boundaries. When you go through a lot of stuff, you don't know your boundaries, or you don't know how to express your boundaries. You don't know how to tell somebody, like, you crossing the line, I can't accept that. Or you can do this for but so long, and then it's going to be something that's not acceptable. Like, you have to know. So on my thing, it says, what is boundary? To be aware of what is unacceptable and normalize saying no. Do what is best for you and know that it's not your responsibility to sacrifice yourself for others. So, that brings up the domestic violence topic. Make sure you stand firm on your boundaries. Make sure your partner knows what is inappropriate or what is not accepted. Make sure you're able to walk away when it is too much, or you have that outlet where you can find somebody to talk to about it, to help you find a way out, or to help you get guided into a better path, like, or just help you express that boundary. Don't pull my hair. I don't like that. Don't look at me that way. I don't like that. Or don't talk to me that way. I don't like that. It could be the littlest thing that you would have never expect is a boundary, or that is something that is a violation of your boundaries. So, it's many a different ways that you could approach that situation. And then it's about your mindset. I might be so traumatized and so hypnotized into what this thing is so called love, that I don't know what my boundaries is, or I don't want to say my boundaries because I don't want to lose the thing that I think is great for me when it's really not good for me at all. So, you have to find out what is your boundaries. Where do you stand? What do you want out of life? What will you accept and what you won't? And when you figure that out, you have to stand firm with that. I'm going to talk for myself. I didn't know where my boundaries is. I'm still figuring out boundaries. I'm definitely in a better place than I was before, but I still don't know my boundaries. I still don't know how to express that. So, that's something I'm working on. It's a growing pain. Everything is a growing pain, but it's really about keeping your mind focused on where you're going, keeping your mindset focused on where you're headed and what you want to learn to get there. And boundary is just one of the regulations or one of the stimulations that you have to implement into that to keep yourself in a stable mind, with a clear head, and to keep going. So again, this is Wine and Dine Wednesdays. Welcome to Wine and Dine Wednesdays. As you're watching on live, we in a private Zoom. Feel free to chime in, give me feedback, come up with ideas for conversation. But
I really love what you talked about in reference to setting boundaries, and just to kind of piggyback off that, I think and hello everybody, I am Simply Coach Kelly P. So I am the mompreneur coach. So I teach mothers and mompreneurs about the importance of self-care and utilizing self-care to be able to find your purpose and turning your purpose into a profit. And one of the things that I really liked about what you said about setting boundaries, I think the first step before I think the first step to even knowing how to set boundaries is really about being self-aware. Because it's hard to set a boundary when you're not self-aware about what's actually, and this is both ways. It doesn't necessarily always have to be a negative thing. You can set boundaries around good things, and of course, we most definitely need to set boundaries around things that are not good for us, that are causing us harm, or that are dimming our light, or not allowing us to be the best that God has called us to be. And so I think one of the most important things about setting boundaries is we need to become self-aware. And self-awareness is not an easy thing. So you need to know, like, the prime example with your relationship, dealing with a relationship, you need to know in that relationship, like, what's really bothering you. Like, what is it that, like you said, what is it that you like? What is it that you don't like? Like, no, like, don't pull my hair, like, just certain things, or don't talk to me that way, or do talk to me this way. This is how I like to be treated. And so that starts with self-awareness, because a lot of times, again, we don't really know how to set boundaries if we are not self-aware of what's actually bothering us. And we can relate this to having kids. That's one of the major things I talk about, especially with my mothers, about setting boundaries even around being a mom. Like, we have a lot of duties. We have a lot of tasks that we do, and so we have to set boundaries around that. And part of that is just setting that boundary could be when you get home. Maybe you watch the baby, play with the baby, play with your kids for maybe about 30 minutes. And after that, you take 30 minutes to yourself. And baby, sometimes that we got to be creative. So sometimes that may be, you go to the bathroom. Yeah, baby, I was want to be in the bathroom with you. But no, I'm locking that door because that's me setting a boundary to say, this is my time. Or instead of taking the kids to the grocery store with you, no, you stay here with the kids. I'm about to go to this grocery store. So it causes us again to be self-aware, number one, to understand again what is benefiting us and what is not benefiting us. And then at that point in time, once you become self-aware, now the next step is, okay, how do I make that change? And I believe that's where the boundaries come in, where you set boundaries. That's even with work. If I work from 8 to 4, after 4 o'clock, don't text me, don't call me. You can send me an email. I'm not responding until 8 o'clock the next day. So I really love that you touched on setting boundaries. And that's one of the things that I greatly talk about with mothers. And I just think, just outside of mothers, just in general, that it's something that's very important that everyone in the world most definitely needs to know. So yeah, that's just my little part I just wanted to add into the conversation.
Well, thank you for conversating with me. Thank you for joining and giving me the feedback, because this is what we need. And I like that you said that is what you said is knowing what you accept, or what I had it in my head. A girl just came in and came out. I got so many thoughts going, but you got to know what your boundaries is. You got to know what you're willing to accept. That's where it's like self-identity. That's where the mindset really comes into play. Like, who are you? What do you like? What don't you like? Like, you have to know these things. A lot of females jump into relationships and they don't know their self. And that's why it's so easy to be overtaken and fall into something that they don't want, or a situation that they can't handle because they weren't self-aware. That's what you said. You have to be self-aware. You have to know what you want in order to tell somebody else what to expect. So, if you don't have that self-awareness, if you can't tell me what you like, what your plans are in life, where you going, then you can't tell somebody else what to do or what not to do, because you don't really know how you would feel about that, or how it really would affect you in the long run, or even in the short term. Like, that's part of, the identity. And, sometimes it is the mindset. A lot of us have childhood traumas that we dealt with, or we still deal with, and we didn't accept, or we didn't know. And it's like, this is me. I'm very transparent. This is how I give it up every Wednesday. And I had a lot of childhood traumas that I'm just like, last week, like, dang, I didn't even know that was a trauma. Like, I didn't even realize that's something that I was going through. And I had to evaluate it, like, and see how it was affecting my decision making, because it's about how you make decisions and what your choices are, because every choice you make is very viable or liable in your next step, or your next goal, or your next destination in life. So you have to be very conscious of your decisions, because
And I love what you just said, because the next step, what I actually talk about in my book, about a mother's path to intentional self-care, the next step I actually talk about after self-awareness is exactly what you just said. The next step, once you become self-aware, now the next step is self-healing. And that's dealing with the past. Because like you said, we all have stuff from our past, trauma, things that affect who we are today. And so the first thing is becoming self-aware. Then now that I'm self-aware, now I'm realizing like, oh, okay, well, you know what? Me not having a voice in my childhood, or me not having a dad and not knowing what a man is like, or me having a dad but mom in and out, whatever that situation
because everybody's situation is different. We don't have
our own unique story. Now we have to heal from that. We have to let go of that hurt and pain in order for us to be able to move forward, in order for us to be able to really, truly love ourselves. It's hard for us to be able to love other people, to pour into other things, to serve other people, if we are first not serving ourselves. And part of that is with that self-healing, becoming self-aware of what it is that's affecting you, in a good way and a bad way, and then healing from those things that have impacted you in a negative way, and holding on to the things that have impacted you in a good way, that's helping build up your character and helping build you up the way that God has called you to be. So that was another great point that I really love that you pointed out.
I'm trying to see. I'm tracking the time, because I don't want to go over, but I definitely want to give it my all. But yeah, that's gonna be next week's topic too is, talking about your surrounding, who's around you, because as you evaluate your mindset and your traumas and what you're going through, you deal with a lot of people who might shun you for expressing yourself, or might say, don't say that around these people, or where you're not allowed to express those feelings or those boundaries, or you're not able to actually get that healing because you still have these people in your circle. You can't elevate somewhere. The best thing I heard was, when you down and out, you can't help somebody who's down and out, because me and you is at the same level. If you can't pour into me or you can't lift me up, then what am I really doing here? Like, we really can't offer each other nothing. I might have the money or I might have the knowledge, but if I'm doing the same thing you're doing, or if I'm on the same level as you, I really could give you all my knowledge, all my education, all my money, and it's still not going to make no difference. You have to want it yourself. You have to want more. You have to be intentional of trying to get that. And if you're not trying to do something better or get better, or eliminate those unnecessary people and leashes on your life and your mindset, then you would never elevate. You would never grow. And that's a big thing. I'm still really learning how I could really express this mindset thing, because I'm changing my mindset. I'm learning. I have a lot of trauma. I did come from a household where I didn't grow up with a father. My father went to jail when I was 4 years old, so I'm about to be 34 this year. I done lived my whole life without a father, basically 30 years. That's a long time. And a lot of time, you chase those negative relationships or bad relationships looking for love, and then when you find it, you broken. It's not the right type of love, or it's a love that you don't even know what love is. So you feel like it's right when it's wrong, or you feel like it's right, and that's what leads to narcissistic relationships, domestic violence, single mothers, or bad situations, because what you thought was good for you, it really wasn't. So you have to really think about your mindset. You really have to evaluate. You really just have to evaluate yourself. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because self-healing is something that is another thing we could go deep about. Some people find healing in their stones. Some people find healing in the Bible. Some people find healing in church. Some people find healing in the bottle. I'm not judging nobody. It is Wine and Dine Wednesday. And a lot of people come like, oh, I don't drink, so I can't attend. It's not about the drink. I'm not a drinker. I really don't drink like that. But I will have a glass of wine every now and again if I need to, or if I want to, just to enjoy my life, just to say, all right, I accomplished my goals today. I can sit down and sit back now. So, it's not something
And
that's
that's really good you
required.
made that point, because Wine and Dine is going to look different for everybody. The name Wine and Dine and this is just me talking. I don't know what your reason, but your point of what you just said about Wine and Dine. Yes, sir. Yeah, I said trash. Open trash. The thing about what you just said about Wine and Dine, we all have different self-care techniques. What I consider to be self-care, that's feeding back into my soul, that's helping rejuvenate me, that's putting me back out there to be able to serve and do my calling and live the purpose that God has had for me. That's going to look different from you. What you do for your self-healing, what you do for your self-care is part of that, something that's pouring back into you, that's allowing you to be able to give back to others. Baby, don't put that in the trash. That is going to look different. So I like the point of what you said. Like, yeah, the name of it is Wine and Dine, but it doesn't mean that you have to come wine. Baby, get your favorite chips before you come, and the whole entire time, eat your favorite chips. Baby, put your favorite song on in the background and listen to your favorite song during the whole process. Baby, go get you your piece of candy. Baby, go lock yourself in that bathroom because them kids getting on your nerves. It can just be a place, Baby, go sit in the car for 30 minutes. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, Wine and Dine is just about that time of you really pouring back into yourself and you feeding back into yourself, that's going to help motivate you and push you to make it through the next day. So
now you make me want to dive into Wine and Dine. So that is definitely something I meant to do and I need to do, is because Wine and Dine. So how this started, it was a dance therapy. If you know me, I like to dance. I like to have a good time. I'm the life of the party. I don't need a party. I make the party. long story short, when I was going through my trials and my healing, I needed that support. And, touching and therapy is something that's healing. And, dancing is something that it takes over your body. You hear the music, you get into the vibrations, you get out of your head. It helps you get out of that mind of beating yourself down, of negativity. So, it helps you get out of your mind. And this was an in-person event that turned into a virtual event due to COVID because COVID, we couldn't wine and dine no more. We couldn't dance. We couldn't have a good time. Sometimes I used to need some wine just to have that time and that moment and get out of my head. Now I don't need the wine. That's how much I grew. Now I have a choice of I could do the wine if I want to, or I cannot. It's not an obligation. And so when this turned into virtual, the name is still stuck because wine is really like dance or alcohol. You can wind up and dance. We can't play music on YouTube, so that's why we don't have any music. Or you could drink. It's nothing wrong with a glass of wine, kick back, have a nice conversation with the girls. That's what we're here for. That's what this space is welcoming. That's what we bring into you is a space where you could come and be comfortable, express yourself, talk about your day, talk about your life, talk about your traumas, talk about your healing, help other women heal. That's something I definitely want to bring to the community. That's something I want to keep for myself, just to have that support because I don't have it. I don't have sisters and cousins. I'm the oldest of four siblings, and the rest of them is boys. So, I didn't have that female sister or comfort that say, oh, yeah, we're going to be all right. I got you. You got me. No, I had to thug it out. I'm from the Bronx, South Bronx, born and raised. Like, it was nobody in these streets. Niggas was trying to rape me, take over, cut me, slice me, do all types of shit when I was growing up. Like, I had to really learn to survive. And I made it. Like, I'm here. I'm about to be 34 and I could talk about it. Like, it's not easy and everybody's story is different, but it's still something that I went through. It's still something that made me the person I am today, that it brought me here. And it's still some traumas in there that I got to heal from to make sure it doesn't reflect on my kids, to make sure it doesn't reflect on my business. We're going to start introducing this to entrepreneurship as well. So I'm probably going to do it like the third Wednesday of every month. I'm going to do a specific day for that specific niche group so that people have the opportunity. Everybody works, everybody have a life. Like I said, things happen, things come up. Nothing is guaranteed. Sometimes I can't be here, but I try to be here because I want to be consistent. So the more consistent, the more better it is. And the more we can help each other. Okay, I got 10 minutes left in my meeting. That's good that they alarm me of that, which I don't even understand why or how that even works because Zoom is crazy. But anyway, so we got 10 more minutes in the Zoom. This was the first Zoom, so I'll have to work that out, figure it out for next time. I'll play with it a little bit to figure out how I go about getting it right. Or maybe it's because I got too many events going on. So I'm on my phone with it and I need to be on my computer. But I'm glad we're here because, like I said, I'm showing up for me. If nobody else don't show up, I'm doing it for me. And I'm so glad to have you, Coach Kelly. Thank you for your feedback and insight. I would love to attend one of your events because, listen, we growing. This is going to get stronger. We're going to get more people. We're going to be in person soon as long as COVID stay away. So, this is what I'm introducing. And it starts with me. It starts with introducing me and telling my story. And no, I'm not going to sit here and tell you every little thing I went through, or I don't need nobody's pity and remorse. I don't need nobody trying to think I need them to pick me up or fund me up. I don't need none of that because I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it for me. I'm going to get it for my kids because that's what LIU is. LIU is building that security, that financial security, so I could be comfortable, so I don't have to worry and struggle or worry about my kids struggling. I want to give them that generational wealth and break generational curses. Like, that is the goal. And it all starts with mindset. It ends with mindset. And you have to get out your head sometimes to even change your mindset, or you have to accept things that you can't accept, let people go that you feel like is there for you, is close to you. Sometimes it's the hardest thing because it's friends and family that you need to let go or get away from. Or, it is that spouse, that person that gave you everything, the house, the money, the cars, the what you thought was love, but you unhappy. Like, I don't even want to talk about the La Truth lady, but just look at that. They had that whole big front, like they all so happy. And next thing you know, it's a whole big divorce breakup. It's all over social media. Like, don't be hiding who you are. Be you. Be comfortable in your voice. Speak up. Say what you have to say. Do what you have to do. Either they gonna accept you or they leave you alone. And if you gotta leave me alone, bye. I take that, because guess what? My happiness comes first. My happiness is what's going to get me going, and it takes me to make me happy. I used to chase people all the time thinking, oh, I'm going to be happy. That's where it's at. That's where the fun is. That's a lie. Happiness is in me. And the more I find me and what my passion is, that's what makes me happy. And this is it. I chase this more than I chase the bag sometimes. And I be looking at myself like, why am I really doing this? Like, what is it really giving me? But it's helping me gain that mindset, that mentality, that lifestyle that I want. It is only going to take me. So I don't need a whole group of people to be here. I'm offering that to people. So, you take what you take from it. And if you don't take nothing from it, then, thank you for coming. At least you showed up. So, that's really what it is. And I'm not gonna hold you up too long. I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm so glad you came. Come another Wednesday. Any Wednesday when you're free, girl. We can talk all day, throw some topics. Let me know what you want to talk about. We'll have some more mothers, I started the private Zoom. Let's talk about that while I got a few minutes. I don't know how many, but I started the private Zoom because a mother hit me up and she said she was depressed. Like, she was going through stuff. She's a new mother. She just had her baby. And, people don't talk about that depression. So my oldest son, he's 12. This baby is a little baby. Shorty had postpartum depression when this baby came out. And, I had to raise this baby at home. My man is a trucker, so he's over the road. He's not always home with us. And it was hard. And it was not something that I could just go publicly and say, oh, I'm depressed, but I'm going to do. No, I'm strong. I'm still holding it down for me and my kids. And, I feel like I overcame that. And this is helping me overcome that even more, because now I want to offer that to other women. Like, you don't have to sit at home and be depressed, wondering if you got to lock yourself in the bathroom or run away from your baby. You might need to do that. Somebody told me, strap them in, safe, make sure they can't fall, nothing can hurt them. Go take you a 5-minute, 10-minute walk. Babies is gonna cry. That's what they're gonna do. But I'd rather you walk away from that baby than hurt that baby because your mental ain't right. So you got to make sure you do anything possible to keep your mental right. That is what we're gonna leave that with. Work on your mindset. Focus on you, what you can accept, what you won't accept. And like she said, I don't know if y'all heard her on live. If y'all didn't, I apologize, because she was going in with some Jews. But you know, you just have to know who you are. Know your boundaries. Figure out what your boundaries are, what you can accept, what you can't accept, and you build around that. You don't sway and change for nobody, because guess what? People is temporary. It's a lesson or a blessing. Either you stay around and we bless each other and we grow, or you a lesson, I'm gonna learn from it and I'm gonna grow and move on. So you take it for what it is. But thank you guys for coming. This is Wine is on Wednesday. Today is definitely all over the place. I know. We're going to get it together. The more we do it, the more consistent, the more better it is, the more we grow. And we here. Live, I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to holler at y'all. Yeah, let me just end that.